Hello guys and welcome back to a new tutorial, and today we have a new product like always. Today we're gonna model this product and we're gonna work on the material and the lighting, of course. So let's jump into Blender. So we have our Blender and our viewport, and we're gonna track our reference into Blender. Let's put it in the middle of our scene. Let's drag it a little bit to the top, and let's select our image, go to data and opacity, and 0.2 will be great. Okay, let's create our cube. Let's activate the wireframe and let's scale it down. Let's lock our image and let's scale our cube on the z-axis. Let's drag it down a little bit, and it's perfectly matching our reference. Let's go to our second viewport and let's scale it on the y-axis. Okay, I think this will be enough, or maybe just a little bit. Okay, so let's go to the edit mode and let's try to make this shape first. Let's select the front faces and the second face and press E to increase it inside. Okay, and move it on the z-axis a little bit down. Okay, that's perfect. Let's scale it on the y-axis. Perfect. Now let's try to make this circle. Control R to give it a loop cut, so we can give geometry in here, so we can create our circle. Okay, let's select the faces and E to inside and delete those. Or before that, let's go to the loop tool and select circle and increase it down so we match the circle, and scale it on the z-axis too. So we make a perfect circle. Oh sorry, I made a mistake. Let's move it on the z-axis and try to scale it down, and this is looking perfect. By the way guys, if you didn't find the loop tool, go to edit, preference, and get extensions and loop tool. You can just install it and it will be in your Blender. So let's continue. Let's press in E and let's give this one loop cut, or not yet. Increase it inside with E, and let's separate this selection and go to this one and go back to the edit mode. Select the face and extrude. We can go here so we can follow. Okay, this is looking good. Inside again, we can select this one and scale it inside. We can select this one. We can Control B. Think there is problem and how to fix it. Yeah, Control A. And how to fix this problem. Control A and apply the scale. Go back to the edit mode. Control B. Okay. Control B, scale it more. Or maybe just a little bit. Okay. This one will look perfect. So now let's go back to our first model and go back to the edit mode. So let's select those lines. And I did separate this from this. So when I give it a bubble, I don't want this one to get destroyed by beveling those. And our sphere will not be perfect. Let's select those ones too. Select this one and this one. And let's give it a bubble. I think this one is great. Let's go to and give it a subdivision surface. And let's check how he looks. He looks perfect. But we need to give it a bubble here. Let's back to the edit mode and give it a bubble here. And another bubble here. Control B. Okay. Let's give this one another subdivision. And he looks perfect. Now, let's move to the top. Let's create a circle here. Okay. Let's select those faces. And inside, give it loop tool and select circle. And let's just fix it with S and X. We can go to the top and check how it looks. This one looks perfect. If you didn't know if it looks good or not, you can just create a circle and scale it down, activate this one and this. We can count how many edges we have. Vertices. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. We have 12, and we can delete this one. And create another one. With 12. And scale it. Let's select this one. And now it's matching perfectly. Yeah, so our circle is matching perfectly. Just if you are worried that it not looks perfect. Let me delete this one, or just delete this one. Delete the faces. Okay, so let's back where we stop. A and C. Okay. And let's try to duplicate this one. Shift and D. Or maybe before that, I want to scale this more, because when I will scale those into the inside, I don't want them to interact with the glass. Okay. No one can see this one, so you can ignore it. Control F, grid to fill. So let's give it loop. And for this too. Perfect. Let's select these faces with the loop. Control Shift T and scale it outside. This looks perfect. And separate by selection. And let's go to select the third one. And let's go back to the edit mode. Oh, we didn't get it. So select this one, edit mode. And let's go to the front, GNC. Okay. And select the top one, GNC. Okay, looks perfect. Control R. Can delete this one. Sorry. Delete the edge. The vertices. Okay. E and S. And D and Z. And E and S. Control F. Grid to fill. Let's go and select this one. Control R. And here let's give it 2 and Control B. Okay, and extrude. Shift Alt A and extrude along the normal. Okay. Or maybe, yeah, let's extrude it inside. And press on E, or maybe not. Let's just select those and give them Control B. I feel like there is a problem. Okay, let's try dissolving those. And try to move it. I think we still have another maybe. Let's try to dissolve the edges again. Okay. Okay. Control MB and give it one more edge. Okay. Control B. 0.5 and one more here. Control B and 0.5. Let's hide those and E and S, A and Z, and A and S. Control F, grid to fill. Turn this off for now. I want to see the geometry, how it looks. Control P to zoom a little bit. Okay, looks perfect. We can Control F here and R to give it a look cut, and Control R here too, and perfect. And give it shade auto smooth. Looks perfect. Select this one too, auto smooth. And for this one too, yeah, turn this on. And for now, this for the outside, it looking perfect. Now we need to create the inside shape of the bottle. Okay, let's name them first bottle, and this one the logo, and this one the cup, and let's go to the bottom. Let's hide the cap and the logo, and let's go to the edit mode. I forget that we don't need to close this one. Yes. So let's delete the faces and turn this off. Below those, and let's try this one, G and C. Okay. So let's give it let's loop selection the faces, Shift and D, and scale it. G and C. Okay. And let's select this one and separate selection, and let's get the edit mode to object mode, and let's go back to the edit mode and select those lines. And now let's start to model the inside. G and C. I think we did a simple mistake, and it's better to create the inside like this by making a cube. Okay, let's hide this one for now. We will take it as a reference and scale the E axis. Let's see the bottle, and S and Y. I think this one will look perfect as a size, and S and C. Okay, so let's select it like this. And now it's time for edit mode. Select the top, G and Z. Okay, Control R. Let's give it 3. Control R. And I think three will be enough. 3 will be enough. I didn't delete this one because we need it to create. Let's turn this off. Select those faces and A and loop tool and circle. Let's go to the top. We don't see it. Let's give this one solidify. I hope now we can see it. We still doesn't let's go to the edit mode first. I want to select this one and yes, give it solidify. And apply. Okay, delete solidify from here. And let's back to the edit mode. And now we can see the edges. Let's scale it on the x-axis. And scale it on the x-axis until we match it perfectly. Now we don't need this one. And let's unhide this and do it like this. And E and Z. And now they match perfectly. Let's keep it hide. Okay. So now we have to create those like curve, and it's really easy to create. Okay. So let's select those one, G and T, and scale it a little bit and select those edges. And scale it on the X or the Y axis. Okay. Let's try to give it a subdivision. To see how it looks. So the bottom part is perfect, but here we need like supporting edges. Let's try to give it supporting edges. Let's try first. Let's go back to the edit mode and select those one, select those. Control B. And it looks perfect for me now. Yes. So now let's back to the edit mode. I want to give it some supporting edges like this. Let's delete this one for now and delete the face. Select those edges, Control B, Okay, that looks great. Now we can select, sorry, the edges, and E and S and G and C. Okay, and E and S. Control F, create to fill. Perfect. Looking perfect. Turn it on for a second so we can see. Let's select those edges. Control B and increase it to 1. And now he looks perfect. And give it auto smooth. Perfect. Perfect. Bottle of water. Now let's unhide everything. I think this one, we don't need it. Now we have the bottle, and let me just check something. Okay, okay. Now let's don't forget to activate the subdivision, and let's check everything and turn on the logo. And for now, the shape is perfectly made. Okay, so let's continue on the material. So let's organize our viewport first. Let's activate the camera. Let's slide this one. Okay, so we have a better view. Let's go to the shading mode. Let's activate our lighting and our rendering so we can see the changes and the camera and the background. So we are using the 3-point light to light our product, and the background light from the top, and a simple plane for our background. And we have a camera in the front looking directly to our product. And like I said, for the scene, we have a simple background. So let's jump directly to the material. Let's open this and go to the shader editor. And let's select the bottle and give it a new material. We can name it to glass or bottle. And let's zoom and to hide this one. So from our reference, this will be a glass. And let's increase or decrease the roughness to 0.1 for now. I think that's all for the bottle. Let's go for the cup. And for the cup, we have a metallic and 0.35. It will look great. We have a logo on the cup. Okay. So this is how the logo looks like. Okay. So let me see if he doesn't show up. So this is a UV problem. So let's go and fix our UV, but before, let's make this one clip. Okay, UV editor, and we need to be in the edit mode so we can see our UV. You can see, guys, he is in a mess, and so we need to fix it. So let's hide everything, only the cup, so we have a better view. Let's turn off the subdivision for now. Okay, let's select the edges. Not this one, this one. Okay, what we have more? I want to select this one too. Okay, and for the top, of course, and let's try to select it from here with shift, and from here to here with alt and shift. No, only with shift and control. I don't want him to select the inside, so just for the outside. And where he is here. Okay, shift and control, and this too. Now let's go to UV and mark seam, select all, and minimum stretch. Okay, I don't need everything, so all I need is this spot. So just by selecting this and this, and let me find the right UV. So like we did see, we don't want this one. Let's select this one. So this one is the right one. So I will select all the others and just scale them down and just put them here. So it's like nothing here. Okay, so let's rotate this one, scale it, and rotate again, scale it again. Okay, so if you want to fix this, we can see that he's a little bit not perfect. So just select like a perfect geometry like this one. This one looks great. Select the face and select only this one. Before that, just let me move this one. I don't want to select those by mistake. So this one looks great, and select all the others, and by the right click, follow the active quad, and now he will fix everything for us. And let's grab it again and search for the right place. So for this looks good. Okay, so let's back to the shading editor, and let's grab a mix shader. Is already here. Let's connect both. We can shift D, put it here, so we can control this logo and give it color. Let's drag this one, and this one. So let me just explain what the mix shader doing. So basically we have a material on top, so this one will be on top and this one will be in bottom of the materials, but we can't see this material. Let me change the color to black. We can't see this one and this one, because like we said, this is one, this is black, and he's mixing them. But we can is like cut this logo. When I put him like this and drag the metallic and the roughness, we start seeing not perfectly. Let me just a little bit. Let's select the camera. Okay. 0.5. Make it no color. Okay, so now we have the color. So what I was saying, so basically this one is on the top and this one is in the bottom, but we can't see the bottom material, and we need something to cut the first material so we can see under the second material, and the result is shown like this. So you can control the second material and it's the logo like this. So you have the full control. Can change the color. He's not showing perfectly, but he's doing his job. So let's go with a dark one. Okay. Zero 0.5. Okay. 0.35 or 0.5. Okay. So let's back to so now I think it's time for the objects mode. Okay, and turn this one off so we don't forget. Now he looks better. 3.5. Yeah, he looks perfect now. Let's go to the cube, and this one will be the liquid. Let's give it new material, and of course he will be transmission, and let's give it a color, the blue one. Okay, can increase just a little bit, and let's try to decrease this one too. Yes, and let's go for the backlight. I think he's too strong. Yeah, this is what I was thinking. Okay, and let's go to the logo. So what we have, we need to drag our logo and connect it here, and of course he needs affixed by UV editor. So let's go to the edit mode and select all, and he looks in a mess. Yeah, I need the fix. So let's hide the rest. Turn off the subdivision. Select the edges Okay, and select this one. Okay, and let's cut it from here. Okay, mark seam and select all and minimum stretch. Perfect. So this one is in the front. Okay, let's scale it, rotate it. This one looks good. Let's scale this one down, just hide it here, and scale this one down, hide it here. Let's correct our camera, activate the subdivision, and it looks perfect, but it needs some adjust. So let's select the mix shader, put this one here and this one here. This one need to be metallic. So which one is okay? So this one is the metallic, and let's make a second material, and this one need to be black for the lines, and this one need to be here. Okay, so we are having what we want, but in the opposite. We want this one to be metallic like silver, and these lines need to be black. So we just need to invert the colors. Shift A, colors, invert colors, and like this, and it's already looking perfect. So let's select camera, and let's try to adjust the camera view. Drag this one out, quit the edit mode to object mode, and let's go to our camera. Select the target, select the camera view, and rotate it on the X axis. No, rotate it on the Y axis. Okay. Now rotate it on the Z axis. Okay. Let me just check a little bit the liquid. Yeah, the transmission is correct. The roughness is incorrect. Yes. 0.01. Okay. Drag this one out. This is a mistake. Sorry. Okay. Rotate it on the Y. Let's search for the best view. Let's move this lighting. Press M, and go to the global and drag it outside. Scale this one outside too, and we can select the background and just change the color. I think this one looks amazing. And like you can see, guys, we have perfect results. I hope you did like the tutorial, guys, and don't forget to support the channel, and see you guys in the next tutorial.